Just say it, man. Don't make me ask 20 questions.
What is the point?
Get to the point.
Just say it already!
Welcome to the Podcram. Here are a few highlights from Dr. Phil McGraw's show Fill in the Blanks, taken from episodes 169 through 177.
I'll share a strategy that I've had in convincing people to accept help. When you tell someone, even if you say it from a place of love, you need help, it tends to cause people to be defensive because there's just a judgmental element to you need help. What I do instead, and I've had great success with this, and it sounds like maybe just semantics, but I tell you it makes a huge difference, is to say to that person, you deserve to have some assistance with this. I see you experiencing pain sometimes. I see you going through a lot of conflict. I really love you and care about you, and I just think you deserve better. I think you deserve some help with this, and there's something out there that I think can be very useful, and I think you deserve to have it. When you tell somebody that they deserve something rather than need something, I think it really helps disarm them and bring down the barriers sometimes. Winners are smart enough not to deal in ultimatums, take rigid positions, and not leave themselves a way out. Winners are smart enough not to deal in ultimatums, take rigid positions, and not leave whoever they're dealing with a way out. Winners are smart enough to say, whatever I'm doing, whether it's with parenting my children, partnering with the person that is my significant other, negotiating with my boss, whatever, I have to leave them a face-saving way out if I expect to win. If you're negotiating with your kids, maybe it's a teenager, and the only possible way for you to win is for them to completely fold up their tent and say, they're wrong, they're idiots, you're the wizard that knows everything in the world, so they're going to do exactly what you said, and they're sorry they ever even thought of it. You got a long road ahead of you, because that just ain't going to happen. If you want to win and get your teenager to comply with something that you want them to do, you've got to give them a face-saving way out. You've got to give them a way where it's easy for them to not do what they wanted to do and to do what you want them to do. That means you've got to figure a way to get this handled without them saying, yes, you're right and I'm wrong. I mean, you're crushing their ego when you do that. You can't deal with ultimatums. If you say to your teenager, all right, you're grounded for life and you're never getting your driver's license back. Well, you know the problem with that? What are you going to do next? You've just grounded them for life. What are you going to do now? Ground them in the afterlife? You have nowhere to go. And you've used the word never. You're never getting your driver's license back. So at 42, they're going to be sitting at home saying, oh, my dad's got my driver's license. I'm never getting it back. Come on. You've got to stop and think. You don't deal in ultimatums. You don't take rigid positions. You have to leave yourself and others a face-saving way out. The best way to get what you need is to give away what you need. Be there for somebody else, and I promise you it comes back in multiples. The third category is a very interesting group. It's called the covert narcissist. Now, these folks sometimes are a little harder to spot, but trust me, they're just as narcissistic as the strutter. They're just as narcissistic as the blowhard that wants to be the center of attention at all times. But the covert narcissist is one that likes to play the victim role. They're blamers. They're still going to have the entitlement. They're still going to expect to be the center of attention, but they're going to do it more passively. They're going to blame others for anything that goes wrong. But believe you me, they're still going to be the center of attention. They're going to take the victim role and tell you how they've been hurt, how they've been taken advantage of by management or the government or their wife or their husband. And when you listen to them, the things they're claiming are going to be, if you listen carefully, not at all encroachments on their rights, but just someone else asserting their rights. But you're going to hear them saying that they're so special. How could someone do this to them? It's just a matter of whether they're screaming it from the mountaintops or they're sitting over in a corner telling you how special they are, asking you, don't you think that I'm right about this? Don't you think? Isn't it true that they're going to be trying to think for you and put words in their mouth and control you from the bottom side up instead of the top side down? They're passive aggressive, but they still control you a lot. But if you listen and watch, all the entitlement, all of the expectations are still there. Why do I need people to know what I'm thinking or feeling? How does that benefit me? There's something called the Cartman drama triangle about being persecutor, rescuer, victim, and how you get caught in this loop. You are never weaker than when you're angry, because think about it. You're angry because you feel victimized. There's no other reason to be angry than seeing that the world has victimized you in some way. So ask yourself, not what you can do with your anger, what you can do with your feelings of worth and strength. Because the more worthy you feel and the stronger you feel, the less likely you are to default to your anger.
Thanks for listening to this installment of The Podcram. I hope it contains something useful for you. If you enjoy these selections and are curious about the curator's own thoughts, you can check out my other podcast, Psychic Lube, where I share concise concepts meant to grease the intellectual gears and help get your creative juices flowing. Each episode is an ongoing collaborative project that welcomes listeners to expand or rebut its points by email or comment, the most interesting of which get incorporated through periodic re-recordings. As always, if you're intrigued by today's content, I encourage you to go listen to the full podcast in its original form directly from its creators so that their sponsors keep paying them to make stuff for us and nobody feels compelled to sue me for copyright infringement. Now, get off your phone and go do smart stuff. Have a productive day.